Welcome back to Diecast Resurrection. Today we are working on a Fall Guy Chevy pickup truck. Look at this beast. I was rooting through the new projects box and I was pretty pleased to find a square body in general. So I think today we're going to mess around a little bit and we're going to kind of do this thing up the way it should have been done, to be honest. So I was looking at some options for wheels for this thing because that's going to be a pretty big deal. I mean, look at these. These are... Man, you don't put wheels like this on a square body Chevy. Sweet, I'm glad this came out. Usually these cheaper diecast cars from back in the day, they always have the corners of their bumpers are always broken off. This one, it looks like everything is there, so that makes me happy. This casting's got a real mild lift, as you can see. So we got a little bit of room here, so I might be able to put some bigger tires under her, hopefully. These are the wheels I picked out for this project. I think they're going to fit just perfect. It's even got the right kind of mags, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I guess just to get things started off for today's project, I want to see if I can get these big wheels on here. I've been extending these slots down into the base a little bit deeper just because we need a little bit of a lift kit. We need a couple extra inches of lift here just to clear the fenders. Try this out loosely. This reminds me of a truck I used to have. I had these same kind of wheels with some, I think they were Firestone MTs. They were the cheapest mud terrain tire I could get at the time, and they were super luggy, but they were only good for a few years before they start cracking. I think I got the clearance issues figured out, so I'm really liking where this is going so far. Once these wheels are locked in place, probably won't glue those in until we touch this up a little bit. It needs a bunch of chrome in some areas, so that'll need a good scrub before anything, so will this. Pretty dirty little toolbox as well. So I guess we'll go ahead and knock the paint off of this. Maybe I'll just submerge this one. We got a pretty big paint project today. The only part that survived was everything under the decal. That's hilarious. I've been doing a little filing on this for a little while now, and man, this thing is actually pretty rough. Hopefully if we just do a nice enough job painting, nobody will notice that this casting is just kind of trashy. If we do a good job, it'll just look like a Chevy. So hopefully we do a good job. Alright, so I got a nice dark brown color here. I wanted to add a little bit of this. Copper Cosmic Sparkle. We're going to add a little bit of this into the paint, and it's going to be subtle, but it's just going to add a little bit of a metallic vibe to what we got going on already here. So put some of that in. I got my kind of dirty mustard color. And we got our Jello Pudding Pop Brown here. Really legitimately looks like pudding. So I'm pretty happy with that. I got my two colors here. Now before I head over to the paint booth, I wanted to touch up our chrome pieces because I plan on using liquid chrome. Lately I've been buying these big refills and then I just squirt some in my little paint tray here. And then I use a brush. I've been enjoying that a little bit better than just using the pen with the big roller tip. When it comes to this Molentau stuff, we gotta put it on wet. And I mean wet. That's why I like using a brush, because you can dictate how wet it goes on there. You gotta make sure she goes on there pretty juicy. Hard to tell because she's so shiny, but that's it's looking pretty brand new to me. Nice rear bumper. Needs some love. So I wanted to do this now because it's going to take a little bit of dry time before I can touch this stuff again. So once we get our paint job on our Chevy, we're going to have to come back to this. And we got a bunch of details we got to do on that front bush bar and stuff. We even got a little tow hitch on there, which is exciting because I got a couple trailers that I could haul. So maybe our little Fall Guy truck will be hanging around for a bit. So I'm going to take these two pieces over to the paint oven and I'll get these warming up there. And while I'm in there, I'll take our body and I'll go ahead and I'll get the groundwork done on our paint job for that. Gotta go above that body line, but not enough to get to that door handle. Hopefully that looks alright once we got some paint on there. Alright, I'm going to head over to the spray booth and give this a try. See how she looks. Hopefully it looks alright with the scale. I still think there's way too much material down here and it looks goofy without our box side. It looks like a blazer. So I ain't feeling that too much. But let me go try spray our brown. We'll see how it looks. Alright, she's kind of looking like a Chevy now, a little bit. I was thinking maybe we'll mask out that aluminum trim now. That's typical on these nice dressed up Sierras. I challenge everyone who's owned a couple of these Chevys in the past to leave a comment. I'm curious, how crazy does the obsession get? Right now I'm 39 and I've owned 6 of these things already. I don't own any currently. Currently I'm rocking a 97 Tahoe. It's so cold that the furnace has been coming on like every 2 minutes. Real tough trying to shoot a video when that happens. I just sprayed our trim. I'm going to be kind of going back and forth from the spray booth. Sweet. That's starting to look a little bit more like a Chevy. Now this truck here has got the aluminum trim behind the cab, you know, the one that goes right here. You guys see that little bump? I'm pretty sure our truck didn't have that trim piece, so I don't think I'm going to paint that one. I think I'm just going to leave it brown. Let me see if I got a little black pinstripe to throw in the middle of that silver. And that should complete our trim and give you guys a nice level of detail where you feel some kind of satisfaction. These little pinstripe tapes I've been using, you can find these in the ladies section at the Amazon. You can get a big bundle of these. And it's for doing art on fancy fingernails for ladies. Or doing awesome pinstriping on your diecast. This big bundle of them that I'm showing you here was like $6. This is as close to black as I have. So I'm hoping I can just put this right in the middle of our little silver we just did. And we could have an authentic kind of GMC trim. What do you think of that? That's some nice looking trim pieces we just created right there. I'm liking it. So let's just trim that off. We'll do the other side. So I switched to my other colored vinyl. I have a silver vinyl here and I made a little door handle. Just cut a little chunk out of one of these strips. Boom. Chrome door handle. Very nice. Alright, our pickup's looking pretty good. I did some taillights. Ooh. I'm going to head over to the spray booth now and give this thing its final clear coat. And then we got to move on to doing some details on our push bar. And then we'll be just about in... and then we'll be in pretty good shape to do an assembly. I'll have to polish the windshield. But yeah, so far so good though. I really like that trim. It turned out cool. Alright, the body paint is dry. I was just getting ready to do an assembly. Painted our bush bar a little bit. Got headlight covers. So it's looking real good. So just give me a couple minutes here to do an assembly. I'm going to take my time and then I will do a reveal. I like this thing so far. Gleek, 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 gleek. It's going to look legit. So here's our little pickup from the Fall Guy. I don't know if we could really consider this one the Fall Guy memorabilia. I don't know, man. That thing's pretty short to be a K2500, if you know what I mean. Overall, I think it turned out pretty good considering the casting we started with. I mean, it was pretty rough. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like to support the channel. Say hello in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next one.